All right, let's now go to some stunning new polling data, which reveals that there could be a brutal 2024 election cycle coming for Republicans. And it is all revealed thanks to a Fox News poll. Now, I want to remind people there's no hypocrisy in saying Fox News content is agit trash that should be flushed down the toilet, but we can look at their polling. Fox News polling is fine. It's relatively well rated and it's generally pretty well done. You know, Fox doesn't do the polling itself, just like CNN doesn't do its own poll. They hire a polling firm. Okay, check this out, and this could really be a preview of what's coming. Fox poll shows Republicans in for a brutal 2024 election. Even Fox is admitting on air that the policies it pushes aren't all that popular with voters. They put up a poll, and good for them for doing it, showing how popular certain proposals to try to mitigate gun violence are with the American people. And these are not shocking numbers to my audience because we've been looking at similar polling data for more than a decade, since the Sandy Hook shooting in Connecticut. Background checks for guns, 87% of Americans favor that. And again, that means in all cases, even interpersonal sales, all transactions must have a background check. Enforce existing gun laws, 81%. You've got to be 21 to buy all guns. That's not the law in a lot of places right now, 81%. Ban assault weapons, 80% favor that. And only 45% believe that more citizens should be carrying guns. This is yet another issue on which the right-wing media narrative has lost the average American. Now, obviously, you go to rural northern Indiana, where I've spent some time, and you ask people about these things. Very few people will want background checks for guns, and they'll mostly be against abortion. Now, that's the other question that this poll looked at. Abortion should be 56% say legal and 43% say illegal. Now, when you ask the question this way, this is the split, 56 to 43. If you actually delve further into this and you explain to people 99% of abortions happen before, I think it's 21 weeks, and you explain more about the reality of abortion, you actually get even more support for abortion should just flat out be legal before 21 weeks. And yet there are states that have passed abortion bans far earlier than that. So there's a few different things here that I think are important to consider. This isn't really newsworthy in the sense that on policy, Republicans have been losing for a long time. In 2016, Trump eked out Hillary, and it came down to under 100,000 votes in 3 states. But then, as the country continued to move more to the left, it actually hurt Republicans in election. The 2018 midterms were not great for Republicans. In 2020, they lost even more, including the White House. In 2022, it was going to be a red wave, and yet the Democratic majority in the Senate actually grew. It's interesting to have a red wave where Democrats gain seats in the Senate, although they did lose the House. And this all may be culminating in 2024. Now, I'm going to be doing some interesting podcast appearances coming up. And one of the things that I hope comes up is what's at stake in 2024, because we have another third of the Senate up for re-election, as we do every 2 years. That's always the case. We have a presidential election, which may well be a rematch between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. And we will have what I believe will be an inflection point, a fork in the road, whatever metaphor you want to use, when it comes to MAGA Trumpism. MAGA Trumpism has hurt Republicans dramatically, but it has hung on thanks to the likes of Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and some others maintaining their seats in the House, and elements of this in the Senate, lunatics like Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz, even though Trump insulted Cruz's wife. Cruz has become a big Trumpism acolyte, etc. Republicans will decide in 2024, are we sticking with this direction and potentially losing, or are we actually going to go in a different direction altogether? So a ton is up for grabs in 2024. The Republican Party has made politics more important for young people with the issue of abortion. This was the problem we always knew would happen if Roe v. Wade were repealed. Yes, it would energize some people, and they will want and try to do even more. But at the same time, you can no longer raise money to try to overturn Roe v. Wade. you have to deal with the consequences of it being gone. And the Republican strategy has always been to present themselves as an opposition to some kind of evil, something scary. Abortion through Roe v. Wade mattered when Roe v. Wade was a thing. You've got to keep the wedge issue to keep voters scared so that they go out and vote with you. They won now. That issue has lots of its power. Now, I know that they've been saying, well, now we need a federal ban on abortion. It's fine that Roe v. Wade was overturned, but now we need to ban it outright federally. Short-lived, really unpopular idea. It also wouldn't pass because we've got a Democratic Senate. So now they're saying, well, let's focus on trans, anti-woke, etc. But the polling isn't looking great on that either. So increasingly, they do need to try to steal an election to win one. Trump tried it in 2020 and it didn't work. And we have to make sure it doesn't work in 2024 either. But a potential bloodbath for Republicans coming up in what is now just 18 months. Incredible. It's April, which means Earth Month is here. This is the time to consider the products you buy and the impact they have on our planet. So if you're still using conventional toilet paper in your home, there's no better time to switch to Real's 100% bamboo toilet paper. 30 million trees are destroyed every year for toilet paper in the U.S. alone. Real Paper makes toilet paper from 100% bamboo stalks, which grow forever. No cutting down trees. So when you use Real, it doesn't feel like you're sacrificing anything to help the earth. Real Paper is soft and fluffy the way you're used to. It's always shipped free to my door in plastic-free packaging. I can schedule it on a subscription if I want. And Real is partnered with One Tree Planted, and with every box of Real Paper you buy, they fund reforestation efforts across the country. Make a positive change this Earth Month. Go to realpaper.com/Pacman. Use code Pacman for 30% off and free shipping. The link is down below.